If there's one core reason relationships fall apart, it's this. People get defensive. Defensiveness shuts down communication, turns every conversation with your partner into a fight, and makes you both feel unheard and disconnected. It's one of the biggest silent killers of relationships. And most couples don't realize it's happening until the damage is done. In this video, I'll break down why defensiveness is so destructive and how to stop it before it ruins your relationship. Let's talk about what defensiveness looks like in a relationship. Most people don't realize they're being defensive. Defensiveness doesn't always look like yelling or blaming. It can be much more subtle than that. And that's why it's so hard to detect sometimes. I'm gonna give you a few common examples. Your partner says, "I didn't feel supported last night when you were on your phone." You respond, "I had to answer that message. It was important." The second example, they say, "You seemed irritated with me this morning when I said hi." You say, "I wasn't irritated. Maybe you're just being too sensitive." Example 3, they say, "It feels like you don't listen when I talk." You respond, "I do listen. Maybe you just don't see it." Now here you might be thinking you're just explaining your side. But from your partner's perspective, it feels like you're not hearing them. That's what makes defensiveness so tricky. It feels protective, but it actually creates emotional distance between the two of you. Before I go further, I want to hear from you. Have you ever caught yourself defensive in a conversation, even when you didn't mean to? Type yes in the comments if you've been there. Now, before I go deeper, I want to give you something that can help you see where this is showing up in your relationship. I created a free relationship check-in test that helps you figure out how emotionally safe, connected, and secure your relationship actually is, and what specific areas might need some work. It's quick and free. It'll give you a clear picture of where you stand, whether things are just a little off or you're in a really tough spot. You can grab it using the link in the description below. And if you're watching this with your partner, even better, take it together. All right, let's talk about why defensiveness is so damaging. When you respond defensively, here's how it often lands on your partner. Firstly, they feel dismissed, like their feelings aren't being acknowledged. Secondly, they feel blamed, like they're the problem for even bringing it up. Third, they feel alone, like you're not on their team. And over time, this takes a heavy toll. They stop sharing things with you. They start bottling things up. They begin to second guess whether they can bring things up without it becoming a fight. They may not say it out loud, but inside, they start thinking like this. What's the point in talking about this? Nothing changes anyway. I always have to walk on eggshells. I don't feel emotionally safe with them anymore, like I can actually open up. And once emotional safety is gone, everything else starts to crack. If you're realizing right now that you've been defensive in your relationship and that it may have hurt your partner, that awareness is powerful. You're brave for admitting it. If that's you, I want you to tap the like button now as a way of saying, I see it and I want to do better. And if you feel brave enough, drop a comment that simply says, I'm ready to change this, because awareness is the first step. Now let's talk about the negative impact of defensiveness on your relationship. When defensiveness becomes a pattern, your relationship starts to suffer as well. Here's what it can lead to. Escalating conflict. Every minor disagreement can turn into a fight. Instead of you working as a team to resolve issues, the argument becomes more about who's right and who's wrong. And it leaves you both very unheard and disconnected. There will be a breakdown in communication. Your issues won't get resolved. They just get buried under the rug. And this will build resentment over time. There will also be a loss of intimacy and closeness because emotional disconnection leads to physical distance. So if you feel like you're not being sexually intimate or your partner doesn't want to be physically close to you, that's something to pay attention to. One partner may feel so invalidated and dismissed that they put up a wall, and over time they will emotionally check out, because defensiveness makes it feel like you're working on opposite teams, constantly trying to defend yourself from the other person instead of turning toward one another. And if this continues unchecked, couples either emotionally check out or start drifting into separation. Now, how can you actually break this cycle or prevent it from happening? Here's how you can start changing this pattern. First, I need you to acknowledge it. Acknowledge that at times you do get defensive, and notice what that defensive behavior actually looks like. Do you have the urge to interrupt your partner? Do you start explaining yourself right away? Do you get the impulse to flip the blame and say to your partner, well, you did that too. If I've hurt you, you hurt me too. Or do you go into defending your character? These defensive responses are very subtle, and on the surface, they can seem harmless. If your partner says, you don't care for me, and then you're like, but I do care for you. Instead of saying that, be like, oh, what have I done that's made you feel like I don't care for you? Get curious. Ask open-ended questions to understand what your partner is actually telling you about their internal experience. So shift your focus from defending your character and explaining who you are as a person or explaining why you did what you did. Instead of that, focus on your partner's experience and asking questions to better understand experience. The next time you feel that defensiveness coming up, maybe in the form of an angry response, frustration, or a dismissive response, when you get triggered, I want you to pause, notice what's happening, and name the defensiveness, and say to yourself, I feel criticized. But that doesn't mean I'm being attacked or I'm a bad person. Or it doesn't mean that I'm not good enough. I just feel criticized right now. This helps you stay grounded instead of reacting from an angry, frustrated place. And then respond with openness and curiosity to your partner, not defense. Instead of kind of conveying what you're saying is not true or accurate, try this. Help me understand what that felt like for you. That wasn't my intention, but I see how that landed. What do you need from me right now? This doesn't mean you're agreeing with everything your partner says. It means you're staying open long enough to hear your partner and show them their feelings matter and that you're not dismissing or minimizing their feelings. But just knowing how defensiveness shows up in your relationship is not enough. If you want to actually change these hardwired patterns and habits, you need to understand why you get so defensive in the first place. And that's what I break down in the video on your screen now.